Hi there. On the 2nd of October, we have a solar eclipse in Libra. So, as we know, eclipses always come in pairs. So, we had the lunar eclipse back on the 17th of September with the moon, and now we've got the solar eclipse with the sun on the 2nd of October. So, lunar eclipses tend to indicate or give us the energy to end things, to close the door on something, to draw the line in the sand with things, to sort of move away from something that either we're aware isn't working for us, or the universe has decided that we'll take charge and show us that this isn't working for us. So that's how the sort of the lunar eclipses tend to work. So the solar eclipse that comes around about 2 weeks later is all about new beginnings. And again, these can be very sudden and very unexpected new beginnings, because with eclipse energy, it's like the universe takes over. You might have an idea of something you want to end or want to start, but the eclipse energy is what gives you the power to do it. It either propels you forward and you suddenly find yourself doing what you've been wanting to do or meaning to do, or a door opens it and you take that step. But it can come from out of nowhere. And sometimes what we notice with eclipses, energy can be similar to the energy of Uranus, where very sudden and unexpected things can happen, and they can feel at the time that they're not right for you, that this isn't what I wanted, and quite confused as to why this has been presented to me. This wasn't the path I thought I was meant to be taking. But the beauty of them is that because it's the universe taking care of things for you, it is always for your highest good. It may not feel that way at the time, but within a short space of time, things will pan out, and you will start to see that sudden change or that sudden thing you weren't expecting has actually really worked out in your favor. So this solar eclipse is going to be in the energy of Libra. And so that means that it'll be focusing on all the things that go, all the themes that are Librian. So Libra rules relationships. It has a lot to do with legal issues, and it also has, of course, is all about the balance and the harmony. So these are the three of the main things that are going to come up with this eclipse. So it could be that eclipses in Libra are always a good time to reassess relationships. So what this eclipse could do you is suddenly give you the confidence to step into a new relationship or to instigate a new relationship with somebody. And it could also give you the confidence to step away from a relationship that isn't working for you. And that could be a friendship, it could be a business relationship, it could be a romantic relationship, it could be anything. But usually if you find something suddenly being presented to you or suddenly coming to an end, even if you don't like what's happening, just go with it, because it will be in your best interest. Even if it doesn't feel this way to start with, just give it a little bit of time and it will work out for you. So any legal issues that you might have going on at this time could come up again to actually take that big step forward, to push you out of something that's sort of been stuck in the doldrums, or just sort of brewing in the background but hasn't actually got anything happening to it. So this eclipse could really bring things out like that. And this could mean that you suddenly have the motivation or the belief that you can take something on, or it could be that the universe does it for you. Once again, an issue that's been going on for you, suddenly, all of a sudden, there's a letter from the lawyer, all of a sudden, there's a resolution, all of a sudden, there's some solution that allows you to move forward. So just, again, that could be something out of your hands or within your hands, and just let it go, let it flow, because whatever is happening is for your highest good. And the other thing, of course, is balance. And this is a great opportunity for us to really look at where we might be out of balance in our life and our relationships, and in particular in the relationship that you have with yourself. So this eclipse can be a good energy to change that, to stop, to start having a more positive outlook on yourself, to start saying more positive things to yourself, to start, putting positive investment in the relationship you have with yourself. We don't realize how many negative things we say to ourselves all the time. And what your body doesn't understand is whether you're joking or whether you don't mean it or whether it's just an expression. It takes everything you say to heart or on board. And so when you in the background saying, oh, I'm so silly, I shouldn't have done this, and oh no, I'll never get to do that, and you have this sort of dialogue going on in the background that's very negative, then that's exactly what you're going to create. So it's a very good time at the eclipse, because decisions that are made at the time of an eclipse tend to be carved in concrete. There is no going back from them. They are permanent, that we move on from. So we must be extremely careful what you think about, what you speak about, and what you do at the time of the solar eclipse, because it could manifest into something very permanent for you. So, like I said, it's a bit like Uranus eclipse energy. Changes come from out of the blue. So very sudden, very unexpected. And the energy of eclipses starts around about a month before the eclipse and then lasts for around about 6 months after the eclipse. So it's not to say that on the 2nd of October, or at the time of the solar eclipse, that everything will suddenly manifest for you or fall into place or doors will open. That could happen on that day, but it could easily happen just before and just after as well. So this is what's known with the eclipses. Because they work with the lunar nodes, we often have either south node eclipses or north node eclipses. So this particular eclipse is a south node eclipse, which means that a lot of the things we're moving, it's encouraging us to move out of the past, to leave the past behind and keep moving forward. And when we work with the dragon energy, what we know with the nodes is that south node is the tail of the dragon. It's the potential. It's what you've done before, what you've grown out of. And then the north node is the head of the dragon. So it's what we're stepping into. It's what we can do. It's what we take the learning from before to step into the future with what we've learned and experienced in the past. So with the South Node eclipse, it is very important for us to be aware of what is for the greatest good of you and what's for the greatest good of all, and not be afraid to actually not just make it about you and what you want to achieve and what you want to do, but being prepared to work for the greatest good or the highest good of all concerned. And of course, we've got Pluto in Capricorn at the time of this eclipse as well. And so with that and with the sudden and changes and things that could come out, it's very going to become more and more obvious over this brief little flurry of Pluto back into Capricorn. It's going to make us very, very aware of what does not work in the world, what doesn't work in your life and what doesn't work outside of your life. It's going to become painfully obvious why we need to change, why we need to evolve. But there will still be people out there wanting to pull back and do things the way they've always done them, go back to the old ways, rely on those old systems, and it's just not going to work for them. So the more you are able to go with the flow, to accept the changes, to go with it, the easier this transition and this time will be for you. So this is really about, one of the biggest things with this eclipse is all about harmony. So we need to create harmony within ourselves before we can create harmony outside of ourselves. So this is where we really get to see like the relationship you have with yourself. Be kind to yourself. Use this eclipse time as a time to sort of change the way that you speak to yourself and the way that you treat yourself. You have done nothing wrong. So there's no point in beating up on yourself or treating yourself badly. All you're doing is learning lessons, and you're not going to get them all right, and you're not going to learn them all the first time, and that's perfectly okay. So just be kind, be gentle, look out for what's going on, and don't be afraid of change. Enjoy. Bye.